sexy. Hey guys, it's ROBELYN here. Guys, self-care is really important. If you're neglecting self-care, you're neglecting yourself. So, let's go in what we have to talk about because there is not a lot of chapters, okay? Like, first thing first, if you want to have really big eyelashes, like, I think they're called eyelashes, so you need to put castor oil. Why I'm saying this, I'm from Morocco, so, we all put castor oils, like especially women. Men, they tend to do it like less. Guys, it grows your eyelashes really fast. Like, I'm a guy, and let me just, to be honest with you, like, I have Mediterranean features. So when you have Mediterranean features and you have big eyelashes, it looks really good. But the good thing is, like, even if you do not have Mediterranean features, you have Germanic features, you have Celtic features, black features, you have Sudanese, Ethiopians features. I think Ethiopians, they have, I don't know. You have Arabic people. You have, I mean, you have so many countries. When male have big eyelashes, they look sexy. And I know, like, you can put castor oil in your face and, like, in other parts. To be honest, like, I tried to put it on my face, it makes me break out, so I stopped it. And also, like, I have an oily face, so I don't know why it's not working for me. But I know, like, for some people, castor oil is working really fine on them. And I think olive oil works perfect for me. But castor oil tend to be, like, really thick. Like, I don't know if you have ever tried the, like, the consistency. It's just, like, so weird. Like, you touch it, it's like oily, but when you do this, it's hard to rub it. Like, it's really different. Like, you can also use it here if you want to grow your eyebrows, and it depends. If you have, like, really strong eyebrows, try it maybe, but, like, I think it would just look really hairy. If you have, like, guys, if you do not have, like, really strong eyebrows, and I'm not only talking about boys, I'm also, like, talking about girls. If you do not have, like, really strong eyebrows, it may work, but, like, just use it for your eyelashes because it grows insanely, guys. Like, it grows insanely. I never tried anything else because my main focus is not to have, like, eyelashes, like, till here, you know, but just, like, to give this gaze, just to add up more physical, like, attractiveness. Because, guys, it's really important. Like, I'm talking about guys because girls is different, okay? Guys, if you start taking care of your face and you start to become handsome, life changes. Just like, guys, when you start, like, taking care of yourself, you start taking care about your physical and how do you look, like, people, they will perceive you as someone and they will, like, treat you better. And to be honest, like, when I wake up and I go outside while doing my skincare or whatever, I do not look presentable, people, they do not treat me in the right way. So I'm all the time spending so much time in the toilet just to be presentable. Second thing, you need to be cultured. You need to be cultured. Read books. I have a book of mine. To be honest, like, when you read books about all the things that you want, you would start to open your mind. And also, like, you don't really have always to read books if you want to be cultured. Just go outside, just go to a museum, just watch documentaries. Like, let's say, I'm someone who is not interested in architecture. But, like, now, I'm looking things for architecture, and I'm like, okay, this house is Art Nouveau. This house is, Victorian. This house is Georgian. This house is Moresque, you know? And to be honest, like, I wasn't really interested in architecture. I started to look like an architecture, and I love architecture now. Like, I'm obsessed by architecture. And to be honest, guys, like, if you just try things, if you watch documentaries on history, on how the thing works, anatomy, like, it's really important to know how the body works. You guys, you need to be cultured, because when you also have a lot of culture and you're talking about people, you wouldn't feel left out. You would be perceived as someone who has a lot of knowledge. It doesn't mean because you're intelligent that you have knowledge. To different things, we can build our knowledge, and when you build your knowledge, you know a lot of things. You're like, this is this. And what I mean also, like, about culture, when you are cultured, because you also have been to many countries, you have tried many dish, you have made a lot of friends, you're like interested about so many things. So when you're just like interested in so many things, it's like being interested in movies. I'm really bad in movies, guys. Like if you tell me something in movies, I'll be like, what's this? Look about how to plant like plants, how they work, look about mechanic. Guys, there is so many things. You can look about physics, you can look the quantum of something. I'm really bad in physics, to be honest. You can look on history, geography. You have so many things. You do not only need to read self-improvement books. There is not only self-improvement books. Read also like sci-fi, shifi, whatever, romance. You can read historic book. You can read religious book. You have so many things, guys. To be honest, you have so many things. Do not only be focused in one thing. I mean, you gotta be focused in one thing if you want to be really good at it. But when it comes about knowledge, it's always good to know about so many things. You need to know a lot of culture. You need to know amazing things, you know? Because when you know a lot of things, you're open-minded and... Okay, let's talk about open-mindedness. Open-minded is not only being open to one thing and not being okay with other things. That's not what open-minded is. It's not thinking that this is the right way to think, this is the right way to think, the other is old, this is old, this is old. That's not how open-minded work. An open-minded person is someone who is open to everything, is open to different opinions, it's different on different ways of doing things, because you have two people, you have three people, you have really liberal people, and they will tell like, no, modest people, and we are thinking in the right way, we are open-minded. On the other side, it would be the same. But like if you're in the middle and you're like, I would listen to your opinion, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't trigger me, and on the other side is the same. Because I have met a lot of people who are like really, and it tends to be like more liberal people than conservative people. Like people who tend to be like really liberal, they want to force upon you the way of thinking, thinking. They will make you think that is the right way to think, is the open-minded way of thinking. But to be honest, when you're open-minded, you are open-minded, which it means you think on your own, and you think what is right and what is wrong, and you do not follow like biases. You follow like your own thing. And maybe I might be giving the wrong answer, but on my opinion, that's how an open-minded person would work, you know? So be open-minded about like learning new experiences, because even when you have experiences, you do have culture. You're more cultured. When you go to festival, you meet people, you meet like people, how they do this work, how they do so many things. You are being open-minded because you are letting to have new ideas. Like you are not a square that has like limited, I think it's like limited thinking. You're letting new things to enter in you, to adapt it on you, to how to thinking, how be like, oh, this is really interesting. So like now when I would think about this, I know how it's made, how people they do it, how they do this, how they do that, you know? So you gotta explore, because exploring is really important. Exploring is one of the most good thing, because as I told on the previous video, when you explore, you tend to learn more about yourself. So talk with people, read books, watch documentaries, do all of the things that would make you knowledgeable, that would make you cultured, that you would know so many things. You would know the history of this country, how things were going. You would learn what is the main principle to make a car work. Like guys, there is so many things. Life is full with so many things. So do not only be limited to one thing. Be open, try different things, try different foods, you would learn maybe something. Like, I would tell it because when I say people, they're shocked. When I cook meat, I put cinnamon on it. Why? Because it gives a better taste. It gives a better smell. It tastes sweet and not sweet at the same time. So, guys, just try many things. Third point, connect to your culture. Guys, it's really, really important to know your culture. If you come from a country that has a lot of culture, learn it. Learn it. And I do not want to talk about the thing saying, no, white people they don't have culture. Every country has culture. Every country has culture, to be honest. Every region has their own culture. Every city has their own culture. There is true, like sometimes you would have countries that are small, so they would have the same culture. But just like let me just tell you, when I was living in Italy, and the region that would come from, it has a lot of culture, and the region that would come, it was divided in two because it used to be two different cultures. The same when I would go in a different region, it would be different architecture, different history, different language, different ways of saying things, different food, different people. Like I know they tend to be on the same country, so they would look the same of people how they come from, but they would also have people with different styles. The same when I went in Germany, not when I went in France. Alsatia was really, really different than Paris because, yeah, it has been influenced with German culture, but still, like, I do not want to hear this thing, no, they're white people, no, they're black people, they have culture, no, they're Arabs, they have culture, no, they're Chinese, they have culture. Everyone has culture, everyone has culture, because just go to the UK, in Scotland is not the same as England, south of the England is not the same as north of England, the same for Ireland. Irish and British people, they do have similar culture, but they're completely different. Like they have different cultures. The same for the US. Someone from Alabama is not the same as someone who's from California. The same from someone who's from Ethiopia do not have the same culture as someone who's from Zimbabwe, or someone who's from Mauritania, or someone who's from Niger. No, every country in every region has their own culture. Chinese people from, I don't know, Kunming do not have the same culture as someone from Beijing. Someone from Beijing does not have the same culture as someone from Wuhan, or maybe Guangdong, or like South Korea or North Korea or Japan. We all have different cultures. So it's really important to know about your culture because you connect to yourself, you connect to your heritage, you know more about your history, you start liking more your culture. You might be indigenous, you might be not being indigenous in your country. It's a good thing to learn about your culture because when you learn about your culture, you'll learn about yourself. Like, I'm from Morocco, and you should know, like, Moroccan, they tend to be, like, mixed. They're, like, mixed race. They have Andalusian blood, which they're, like, Spanish, like, these people who come from the Iberian Peninsula. Then, I do have Berber blood. I do have Germanic blood. I do have maybe Nigerian blood, maybe I do have Jewish blood, maybe I have, I don't know, Italian blood, Greek blood, Turkish blood, Arab blood, like Amazigh blood. Like, you would learn about your culture, maybe also like different cultures that exist in your country. Like, let's say I'm from Morocco, we have a lot of types of culture. We have Amazigh culture, and Amazigh culture is huge. So Shawi, Shilharifi, or you have Jewish culture, Sephardic, Mizrahi culture. You have Andalusian culture, which is like people from Andalusia, like, you know, the Andalusian music, the Moroccan Andalusian music. Like, you have so many cultures. Learn about it. Just learn about it, and you will learn also more about yourself. It's really important to know your culture because it will open a door to also know you. You also try wearing like traditional clothing because most of the time traditional clothing they fit on us because they have been designed on peoples, with colors, with all of these things, because it fits on people and it makes people beautiful and it makes more culture. Start eating food from your culture. Like, I'm from Morocco, so I would eat kso, marqa, babush, like all of these things, you know. Also, like, if you have grown up in different cultures, learn these cultures, because when you go in a country, you adopt in a country, you start learning the people's culture, and it would also like help you to learn something about you. You'd be like, oh my god, this culture is really good, I would love to implement it. It's like the Dutch people when they go to the Netherlands, they would learn the culture of management. You should know, like, German and Dutch people, they manage their day. If they want to go out, they are going to look on their like agenda, be like, I have this, I have this, I have this, but this time I'm free. Implement it. It's really good. It's never bad to learn about others' people culture. You should never be scared of learning about people's cultures. I love Chinese culture. I love Japanese culture. I love Ethiopian's culture. I love Zulu culture. I love Nigerian culture. I love Nigerian food. I love Jewish culture. I love American culture. I love Italian culture. I love Arabic culture. Like, all cultures are good. You learn people's culture, and every culture have good and bad things. So choose what you like. Like, really, we there is 8 billion people. You need to be more acceptable. To accept other people, you gotta learn to be open-minded. The fourth point, guys, and it's really, really important. It's time to cook. Try to cook more food by yourself. Try to cook food by yourself, because cooking, guys, it's so good. Like, cooking is so good. Like, to be honest with you, I prefer cooking than eating in restaurants. I mean, I'm open to eat in restaurants because I want to try different things. But, like, start cooking by yourself, because you would learn how to cook. You would learn many recipes. There's a lot of recipes. There is so many good things that you can try. Also, like, to be honest with you, like, I learned that I cook really good. When I'm inviting people, I would cook. I make bread, and guys, I don't know, learn making baking bread. To be honest, like, you do not really need to bake bread. Like, learn how to make pasta, learn how to cook a cake, because when you cook, it's also like self-care. Like, you're caring about yourself, and it's really therapeutical. So yeah. So these were like the self-care that I wanted to talk about, and have a wonderful day. And this was Bessie ROBELYN. Mwah.